Buongiorno and welcome to Lisa's Italian Kitchen. I'm making for you today delicious potato croquettes. I grew up with potato croquettes in Spain when I lived in Spain with my parents for a few years, and they're very popular all over Europe, and my children grew up with them in Italy. So they are perfect for fall, for the holidays, and an easy dish to make. What I've done is I've made 3 pounds of mashed potatoes, and I make these the night before and let them sit overnight in the refrigerator. It just helps solidify them. Now what we're going to do to these mashed potatoes, and there are a variety of ways you can make these croquettes, different things you can put into them, but I'm going to add 2 egg yolks. The egg yolks, and I'm just going to mix it in with a spoon. The egg yolks are going to help the potatoes adhere. So we're just going to mix the egg yolks in very well with a spoon. 2 egg yolks. And then the 2 egg whites I've beaten here, and we're going to use those when we dip the croquettes. Also, into the croquettes, I'm also going to add 1 cup of shredded mozzarella, a half a cup of Parmigiano Reggiano. Now, the prosciutto that I'm going to cut in is optional. Maybe you want to leave yours vegetarian or just cheese. That's fine too. But I'm going to cut a few little pieces of prosciutto. I always like to cut prosciutto because, you know, prosciutto can be a little stringy with the fat on it, and if you don't cut it in small pieces, it can be difficult to eat. So I'm just gonna cut these little pieces of prosciutto in here. Perfect. And now we're going to mix all of this together. Cheeses, I already have salt and pepper in my mashed potatoes when I made them yesterday evening. So what's great about this is, let's say you want to make these potato croquettes for Sunday dinner. Make your mashed potatoes Saturday night, put them in the refrigerator, and let them sit. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I've got 3 cups of canola oil in my frying pan, and I'm getting it nice and hot. As you can see, look, there are bubbles. You never want to drop anything into oil until you see the bubbles rise. If you don't see the bubbles rise, just take a little piece of anything, some breadcrumbs or a piece of bread, dip it in there, and if it sizzles, then you know it's ready to go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to dip our potato croquettes first in the egg white, 2 egg whites that I've beaten into a meringue. This is going to help the breadcrumbs adhere to the potato croquettes. Then into the breadcrumbs, which are seasoned with oregano, basil, a little salt and pepper. And then we're gonna drop them into the oil gently, because this is hot oil. So the way you make a potato croquette, and see, I can always tell, look, I can already tell, you see no sticking on my hands? Because I made these potatoes last night. So they're nice and firm, and they cooled, and that's what you want to do. So now I'm going to take this potato croquette just very lightly into the egg white, into the breadcrumb, and here we go, into the oil. I'm going to put it on my spoon, slotted spoon, and lower it for safety, and lower it into the oil. And repeat. So these are getting nice and golden, as you see. That's how we want them, but we want them cooked a little bit more. I like them even a little more golden. Sometimes some of your coating might come off a little bit. That's okay, they're still delicious. Look at that beautiful one. I'm gonna let this cook a little bit longer in the hot oil, and then we'll plate them and let them drain for a moment, and they're good to go. Delicious. These are wonderful with anything. With a salad, with a nice chicken breast, chicken marsala, chicken piccata, pot roast, you name it. They're a perfect accompaniment. So we have my last 3 potato croquettes in the boiling oil. And I made 16 or 18 from the 3 pounds of potatoes. So depending on how many people you're having, you can judge accordingly how many you want to make. Maybe you want to double the recipe. Very simple. Lisa's tips: make the mashed potatoes the night before, refrigerate overnight. Second Lisa's tips: roll the potato croquette in egg whites to make the breadcrumbs adhere. Place on your paper towels. You can make them even darker if you'd like, a little crunchier. You can cook them lighter, whichever you'd like. Some people like different stages of frittura, as we say in Italian. Absolutely delicious. As you can see, a perfect accompaniment from anything for dinner, even lunch or brunch. So, Lisa's potato croquettes, straight from Italy. Buon appetito, tutti a tavola. Ciao, ciao.